Hey everyone, nice to see everybody. Nice to be back up here in New England. I brought a little bit of Florida back with me, as you can see. But um, it was a nice visit, nice vacation down there. But again, it feels good to be back. And we jumped right in. We had our class Monday at the Northbridge Senior Center. I had a couple more of my classes starting up again out in Millbury and Sterling as well. So, with all that being said, uh, I think it's a good time maybe to review a little bit. And when I say review, it's really talk about it, get a little bit of the basics back into our practice, and we'll go over some of the moves as well. But I brought with me, and I've had them here before. I talk about books or um, you know, get your information, watch a YouTube, find other places. If you're on vacation, maybe you could find a class that someone that offers a Tai Chi. But this book right here is just the Tai Chi Healing Bible. So again, I mean, don't let the word Bible throw you off. It's just a great reference. They talk about meditation. We talk that Tai Chi is a moving meditation. There's a lot of illustrations with each move that we do. It's broken down. If that's a way that you learn the form, that's great. I still have a hard time with just looking at a picture of something. I have to watch a video and rewatch it at least half a dozen times, because you're going to pick up something a little bit different each time. And it's just how people learn. There's different ways of learning. And this book, you can see it's very well worn. I bring this with me just about everywhere I go. Um, I read it at home. I keep it in the car, read it when I got a few minutes. It's one of these books where you could just open any page and get some good, knowledgeable information from it. And it's done by the Harvard Medical School. So they produced, it's a guide to Tai Chi. It does break down a lot more than just a set of pictures showing it. But they talk about all the power centers, the strengthening of the heart, other just that idea of putting the idea of the principles of the practice into your daily life. And we've talked about that before, where you're able to just be more confident, maybe going up that set of stairs, or with a balance situation, you might be out walking and it's ice or just unsettled ground, and you're able to just bring yourself back and not fall. This last one, and all these books, you can order them for short money. This is another one from the Harvard Medical School, and it's just the introduction to Tai Chi. So it's, again, that idea of anybody can do it, which I think is just a great idea. I mean, if you can do it sitting down. And when I teach my classes, I do the same thing. I adapt to the situation. If it's a more advanced class, then we go off in that direction. If we have a lot of beginners or brand new people, then we just teach it a little bit different. I might have one of the senior students go with the new person for a part of the class, just so maybe they don't feel as intimidated. So there's all different ways to teach, and to teach Tai Chi is just one of the things I enjoy. So we talk about warming up, and it's not just with Tai Chi. We warm up before we go out and shovel snow, or you should have this winter. Or you warm up before you go and hit the course and start playing golf pretty soon. So all these things, anything that you do, yard work, things like that, you want to have a little bit of a stretching uh, period or warm up time, things like that to get the body, get the blood flowing. We say get the chi flowing. When I try to go back and forth from um, Eastern philosophy, Eastern cultures, and Western philosophy. So just so that you can relate it more, the idea of getting the chi to flow. Well, let's substitute that and just say, come on, get the blood moving. Let's go. Wake up. Right? And we do that. We're tapping, but the aspect of we're getting the energy to flow. We're opening up energy channels in the body. And that's just the Eastern philosophy of it. The Western philosophy is more of a physical. So we have the spiritual part of it, the energetic part of it, and then the physical body part of it. So again, with the warming up, we do a nice, easy head to toe warm up where we gently just start to circle the head. And we go with that idea of the 60-40 principle where we're not overdoing it. We want to be able to connect with the body, with not just circling the head. We want to be able to feel that spine loosening up. Maybe the shoulders are involved, the tightness in the back, even though it's the head moving. And we reverse that direction. And you might hear a few of the little crunchies going on. We drop down next into the shoulders. Same idea. It's a nice, gentle, circular motion. We also incorporate the breathing with all the moves that we do. The breath should be a long, slow, deep breath. A nice breath in. Yeah. Breath out. And just relax. We're not tensing up with the shoulders trying to reach the ears. Next, we drop down more into the hips, and we call it the slow motion hula hoop, where we just circle with that. And it takes a while. I know it's been a while since any of us hula hooped, but visualize. Start to feel that connection of the energy starting to come up from the earth into the body, circle, and down, just like that. And reverse a few times. Again, that front, side, back portion of the body, just warming up, loosening up the tendons. There's fascia. Everything that's tight, you want to start to warm, loosen, stretch it. When we go to the knees, again, it's just a gentle circular motion. You don't have to go deep with these. If you want to gradually build up to a nice, deep, larger circle, that's great. But in the meantime, you're starting out, light pressure on the knees, and just circle them. When we do the ankles, you could actually use a prop. If you have a table or a chair, you want to have the leg closest to the stable object, grounded into the floor, just like that. So this one, a couple options. It's just a nice gentle roll with the ankle. You could lift it off the ground and go in both directions. Or you could try letting go and circle. Okay? And with anything, you want to do both sides. So same idea. It's just a circular motion with the ankle loosening up. Take it off the ground if you can. The third way is really incorporating the wrist is the ankle. And you can just circle like that. And try that move. 3, 2, 1. Good. So that's just a basic warm-up. And I'm just showing you briefly. You want to spend time I talked about you want to start to feel that connection of your body. Everybody is different. You might need more with that neck situation, or you might need more with your knees, or your knees might be really sore and you can only do 2 or 3 circles. That's fine. That's your body. That's you listening to your body. But we want to keep that breathing. Pretty much everybody can breathe. It's breathing in. And when I talk about a deep breath, we want to expand, and the belly is going to come out some. And then when we exhale, that's when we picture like a sponge or whatever. I'm pushing in slightly. I'm moving that stale air that's at the bottom of the lungs, getting that out. So the breath in, nice deep breath, fill the lungs, and exhale. Squeeze all that stale air out. You don't want to overdo that. You might find you get dizzy, but just be aware of the breath. You could practice that heavier technique and just, be aware you might get dizzy after 2 or 3 breaths like that. But we're constantly, again, being aware of the breath, being aware of the balance, or where which leg is grounded. So at this point, let's get into our horse stance. And we talk about the horse stance is knees are slightly bent. The back is still straight. We're visualizing that thread pulling the top of the spine and dropping and pulling on that tailbone as well. The arms are out to the side. The elbows are just back just a little bit. And we have that space in between. And from here, we're just starting that shifting the weight from side to side. And it's not a race. It's not trying to get, 30 of them in 30 seconds here. We're just feeling. We're starting to, when do I go off? If I go too far, now you have to commit to another move. But I just want to get to that point where I feel that weight shift from each foot. And the other fine-tuned part to this is you want to be slightly on the ball of the foot versus the heel. So I'm shifting that weight. Again, with a lot of sports, you don't want the knee past the feet like that. So we're just shifting that weight just like that. And then we build on it. We're going to start to turn the body. Shift that weight, turning the body. If you notice how the hands are getting that free ride when the torso moves. I'm not bringing my arms across like that. They're moving with the body, just like that. 3, 2, 1. Good. All right, and then we do a slight little shake, a little bit of marching, just to, again, we're starting to warm up, getting the blood flowing, getting that energy flowing. When I talk about energy, I talk about, we're going to go into a little bit about meridians and energy work. If any of you know any Reiki or other type of energy, maybe you had an energy session before. But with Tai Chi, it's 1, 2, 3. We talk about maybe 5 of them. There's probably 100 different power centers in the body. But that lower one is right here. We talk about that power center. It's they measure the width of your 3 fingers. Find the navel, measure down, and then visualize the width of 2 going inward. And that's that, again, East and Western, that we say our gut feeling. They call it the Dantian, the power center. And that is used to store power. That is what is you connecting to self. So you want to build chi and store it in there. That's our battery. That's our storage. This is where we protect. This is how we connect to self. We're grounded. We have that reserve energy right here. And then we have the heart center. And this power center right here, again, we can visualize and make that chi ball, that energy ball, and we load the body and we fill power into that heart center. This is used to connect to others. And we've talked about this before. Internally, we go right to our heart when we're thinking of somebody. And that's the idea of sharing energy, connecting to others that way. The third power center, there's different names for it, but it's that third eye up here. And that power center, again, when we start to build chi, build energy, and we want to put energy in throughout the body, this power center right here is used, we say, to connect to a higher source. And again, different cultures, whatever, people, angels, Mother Nature, God, St. Peter, all that. You put your hands over that when you're asking for help from the higher source. Like, what did I do with my keys? Where is that phone number I had? And you're using, again, it's Eastern, Western, different sayings that they have. So it's all, everything's, what do I say? Everything comes from the same tree, I guess, is the best way to say it. You can see the similarities with different cultures, with energy work, or just communicating, things like that. We're words. They sound similar in different languages, but you get the gist of it. Sometimes you can pick up a little bit of what the conversation is, even though you don't know the language. That sort of idea. So the other two power centers are the palm of the hand. And again, we use this to help us ground. We can visualize that we're holding on to the table or a cane in your hand. Or they talk about visualizing roots driving down into the ground, and you're connecting to the earth this way. And there's that bond right there to help you stabilize, just like that. The last power center we talk about in Tai Chi a lot is on the ball of the foot, sort of more towards the front of the foot, right there, that pad area. And again, it's for grounding or connecting, visualizing that idea of that weight just slightly forward. And you'll feel the point when you go from the heel just slightly forward and keep the knees bent. You'll feel that spot right there on your foot where your optimal grounding technique. Good. So those are some of the things that we cover, and we can go a little bit deeper in classes when I talk about getting into position, getting into the different forms. But let's go with the first move, or it's actually the third move, but it's called opening move. And that's where, well, let's start from the very beginning. That first move is mountain. And you've probably seen it in yoga or some meditative moves where you're standing tall, but see how the knees are slightly bent? The arms are out to the side, and just elongate that spine. It's a good posture for that breathing technique. You can do some nice breathing exercises as well. With some people, they block one nostril and do breathing, hard, soft breathing. There's all kinds of exercises for breathing, but that idea of mountain, just grounding, getting ready. Then we load up that right foot and we step out to the side. And this is where we adjust a little bit. We want to get into that power center on the feet, still stay in a good posture. But it's called horse stances, as if you were riding a horse, just like that. Now, we'll go into what's called opening move or Tai Chi arms. You might see this in a movie. The Karate Kid, where it's wax on, wax off. Or, yes, he makes them paint the fence. So we used an analogy of the hands or the brushes. So we dipping in the paint, painting, coming off and down. So now this is the simple move, but now start to put in everything we've talked about so far with being the right with the knees bent and connecting. Feel the energy start to move and flow. The breath. That 60-40 principle. You notice I'm not locking out the hands. I'm not overextending. It's just on gentle, about heart level. And then it comes in and it's not, all the way pinning your shoulders back, but just dropping them in and then dropping down. And again, that moving meditation. This is a nice move. One of my first instructors, we did this probably 10 minutes, and I just didn't understand why. It's like, I know how to do up, in, and down. After 3 of them, I can do it. What's next? But when we do it again and again, you get that deeper level. You start to feel that connection. You start to go more internally and start to feel what's happening with the body. You can do a little shifting if you want with this one, just to practice and start to get used to what your body is capable of, what it's comfortable doing, because you're only going to get better at it. Your first time, second time, you're going to be better. Third time, try it for 10 years, you'll be even better. Okay? You'll get to that deep spot where you're not even realizing physically you're doing it. It's all energetically or internal energy happening in the body. So those are some of the basics I wanted to cover tonight. The idea of, if anybody wants to borrow any of these books, or you need the information, or just reach out to me on the an email or shoot me a text. You can do that. So get some information. Find, make it yours. The practice should be yours. Yes, you could follow along. You could learn from somebody, from a book, a video, or a live class, but you want to make it yours. So that's why I suggest get a video that you like on YouTube and watch it and rewatch it and do it with it, or get a book and start to mark it all up and just get those little nuggets that mean something to you. And that's probably that was one of the tips I got from another instructor. It's, make the practice yours. Yes, you can follow along and learn, but I don't want the students to just mimic it, because you can't feel internally what I'm feeling. I can show you the physical aspects of, where we do that hold the ball, and that idea of the hand going down as the bottom hand's coming up. And then they shift, so it's a continuous, it's a flow. It's a nice move. It's a flowing move. But once you learn the basics, now it's a deeper, and there's really no words to describe it. But once you get that feel and you're comfortable and you're not second guessing, was this hand supposed to do what? Once you get past that, then it's another whole dimension of class, and you'll just take it to that next level, and trust me with it, you'll get there. All right, so I think that about wraps it up. It's been a while. I'm glad I'm back. Again, get a hold of me. Let me know what your thoughts are. What do you want to see coming up in the next few shows? You can always go back to the station's website and rewatch some of the classes where we broke it down each move, and we really explained 2 or 3 moves, so you're able to build and get that whole Yang style 24 form. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Take care.